Welcome to DDReg Knowledge Capsule. Today, we're plunging into a truly critical challenge facing healthcare globally: the immense, often overwhelming burden of chronic conditions. We're talking about things like diabetes, hypertension, COPD, depression. These aren't just common. They account for, what, over 70% of global healthcare costs?
That's right. And they're the single leading cause of disability-adjusted life years, dailies, worldwide.
Wow. So think about that these conditions are driving the majority of our healthcare spending and really impacting people's quality of life.
Exactly. And the problem is, traditional care, while absolutely vital, it often relies on those episodic clinic visits.
Right, leaving these big gaps in, ongoing patient engagement and that crucial self-management piece.
Mm,
But here's the exciting part, the profound shift we're exploring today. Digital therapeutics, or DTX. This isn't just about downloading some general health app from the App Store. It's about fundamentally transforming you, the patient, from maybe a passive recipient of care into an active, empowered manager of your own health.
it's a huge shift in perspective.
Imagine a world where your doctor prescribes an app, not just a pill, and that app delivers results potentially on par with medication, maybe even without the side effects. That's the truly revolutionary idea behind DTX. So in this deep dive, we're going to unpack exactly what DTX are, how they empower individuals like you, and their really significant impact on healthcare systems around the globe. So let's start at the beginning. What exactly are digital therapeutics? We hear about health apps all the time, but these are definitely not just general wellness apps, are they? What separates them?
That's a really crucial distinction. It fundamentally defines this whole field. Digital therapeutics are evidence-based, software-driven interventions that deliver actual therapeutic outcomes.
Okay, therapeutic outcomes, that sounds key.
Exactly. The emphasis is right there. They aren't simply tracking your steps or, reminding you to drink water. What sets them apart is their rigorous foundation. They undergo the same level of clinical validation as many pharmaceuticals, and crucially, they have to comply with strict medical device regulations.
Ah, like the FDA's rules.
Precisely. We're talking about frameworks like the FDA's software as a medical device, or SaMD, and the EU Medical Device Regulation, EU MDR. In fact, many are prescription-based, just like a drug.
Okay.
And this rigorous process is exactly what distinguishes them from the vast majority of other health apps you might find.
I can see why that distinction is critical then. So these are serious medical tools just delivered digitally. Can you give us some tangible examples? Something to really bring this concept to life for our listeners. Show us what this looks like in practice.
Absolutely. Think about platforms like Omada Health.
Yeah.
That focuses on comprehensive diabetes prevention and management, guiding users through lifestyle changes.
Okay.
Or Propeller Health, which helps individuals with asthma and COPD. It connects to their inhalers, tracks symptoms, provides personalized insights, really helping improve adherence and reduce attacks.
Interesting.
Then there's Resetto from Pear Therapeutics. That's a prescription DTX, specifically for opioid use disorder, providing cognitive behavioral therapy digitally.
Wow.
And Blue Star is another prominent example for type 2 diabetes management.
Hmm.
So these aren't just general health dashboards. They are designed to deliver a specific, clinically validated treatment plan, often interacting directly with your medical team.
So we're talking about solutions that aren't just providing information or convenience, they're delivering therapeutic results. They are, in essence, digital medicine.
You got it.
And it's that clinical validation piece that really makes them trustworthy.
Absolutely fundamental.
And now, here's where it gets really interesting for you listening. How do digital therapeutics actually empower patients in their daily lives? What's the direct impact on someone managing a chronic condition?
Yeah, this is truly where DTX shines and, redefines the patient experience.
Hmm.
I'd say there are probably 4 key ways they achieve this empowerment.
Okay.
First, it's about personalized, data-driven care. DTX platforms integrate continuous health data from all sorts of sources: your wearables, glucometers, barometers, even your own patient-reported outcomes.
All feeding into one place.
Right. And then AI-driven analytics step in. They don't just collect data. They analyze patterns, help optimize your care plans, and provide adaptive feedback in near real time. This continuous feedback loop, it significantly enhances treatment adherence and overall disease control. Imagine your personalized care plan adapting daily based on your actual data, not just based on your doctor's visit 3 months ago.
That's a game changer.
It really is. Second, DTX solutions are built on evidence-based behavior change. They leverage proven psychological and behavioral techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, motivational interviewing, even gamification to help you sustain those crucial lifestyle modifications.
So it's using techniques we know work.
Exactly. And this isn't just guesswork. We've seen multiple randomized controlled trials, RCTs, demonstrate clinically significant reductions in key markers like HbA1c levels for diabetes and improvements in blood pressure control for hypertension.
Real clinical results.
Yes, it's not just theory, it's validated science, proving these digital interventions can fundamentally shift health behaviors for the better.
Okay, what else?
The third major benefit, and one that's particularly transformative, I think, is 247 accessibility. Imagine having access to therapeutic interventions anytime, anywhere, right there on your device. This just breaks down significant barriers related to geography, mobility, even gaps in the traditional healthcare infrastructure. Think about someone in a rural area, or a shift worker, or someone with limited mobility.
Yeah, access is huge.
It can be a lifeline. It's especially crucial for underserved populations or for managing conditions that require daily self-management, where, waiting for an appointment simply isn't practical. It just fundamentally broadens access to care.
Makes sense. And the fourth?
And finally, there's the critical aspect of integration with clinician workflows. Modern DTX solutions aren't meant to be silos. They provide secure clinician dashboards that give your healthcare providers real-time access to your aggregated data.
So the doctor sees what's going on.
Precisely. This means they can make proactive interventions before a problem escalates. Ultimately, this helps reduce acute exacerbations and prevent costly hospital admissions. This seamless integration supports a broader approach to population health management, connecting you more closely to your care team in a continuous loop rather than just during those, episodic visits.
That's a huge shift, really. It means you have more control and support outside of those traditional, sometimes infrequent doctor visits. It's like a continuous relationship with your health data and your care.
That's a good way to put it.
It almost feels like having a constant medical companion, but without having to, wait weeks for an appointment.
Yeah, it bridges those gaps.
So what does this all mean for the broader healthcare landscape then? What makes these solutions so credible? And what's really happening in the market to drive this transformation forward?
Well, the credibility of DTX products hinges entirely on that rigorous scientific and clinical validation we've been talking about. They rely heavily on randomized controlled trials, RCTs, for demonstrating clinical efficacy. That provides the strong, gold standard evidence base.
The kind regulators want to see.
Exactly. But it actually goes beyond just trials. They must also demonstrate regulatory compliance with international standards. These aren't just obscure numbers either. ISO 13485, for example, that's the international standard for quality management systems in medical devices.
Oh, okay.
It ensures the software is developed with the same meticulous precision and safety checks as a physical medical device. And IEC 62304, that's about guaranteeing the integrity of the software throughout its entire life cycle. They ensure these digital tools are built to medical-grade standards.
Not just like any app you download.
But definitely not. And importantly, real-world evidence, RWE, is collected too. This shows that these sustained outcomes hold up outside of controlled trial environments, in the real world, followed by post-market surveillance for ongoing safety and performance monitoring.
Right, because things can be different outside a trial.
For sure. And to give you a concrete example of this impact, a 2023 study published in Nature Digital Medicine demonstrated that a specific DTX platform for type 2 diabetes reduced HbA1c by 1.2% over 6 months.
That's significant.
That's very significant. That's a reduction comparable to what you might see from many pharmacologic interventions, but notably without adding medication burden. That kind of evidence is incredibly powerful.
No kidding. Where else are we seeing these benefits?
We're seeing meaningful clinical benefits across several chronic indications. For diabetes, as mentioned, DTX programs that integrate coaching, glucose data, even insulin titration algorithms have shown clinically significant reductions in HbA1c. In cardiometabolic disease and hypertension, behavioral and adherence-focused DTX are yielding measurable reductions in blood pressure and improved medication adherence. And for mental health, app-based CBT and structured digital programs are effectively reducing symptom scales for depression and anxiety, typically when used as an adjunct to standard care. The key is that regulators expect strong, randomized evidence for the primary claims and then robust real-world evidence for long-term effectiveness and safety.
That's incredibly powerful evidence, and it really underscores the rigor behind these solutions. It sounds like the market is truly recognizing this potential now. Given such a strong foundation in clinical evidence, how is the market responding? Are we seeing significant investment or adoption?
Absolutely. The global DTX market is estimated to be quite substantial already. Projections put it in the $7.6 to $9.7 billion range for 2024 to 2025.
Wow.
And what's maybe even more striking are the projected high growth rates, think high teens to high 20s compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, through the next decade. This reflects a significant acceleration in investment and commercial interest, really driven by that compelling clinical data.
And are regulators and payers keeping up?
Yes, that growth is certainly fueled by increased openness from regulators and payers. Germany, for instance, has established its DIA prescription and reimbursement pathway. That serves as a kind of working model for public reimbursement and scaling DTX solutions directly into healthcare systems.
Just a blueprint, maybe.
Kinda, yeah. And in the U.S., the FDA continues to clarify its pathways for software as a medical device and AI-enabled medical devices. That's absolutely vital for vendors so they can plan their clinical programs and regulatory submissions effectively. This evolving regulatory clarity is critical for the industry's continued expansion and adoption.
Okay, let's unpack this integration piece a bit more. How do these powerful tools actually get deployed and integrated into our, let's face it, complex healthcare system? It can't just be about building a great app, right? It sounds like there are significant hurdles beyond just the technology itself.
No, you're absolutely right. It's definitely not just about the app. I'd say there are three critical pillars for successful DTX scale, and overlooking any one of them will hinder adoption pretty significantly.
Okay, what are they?
First, as we've discussed, is clinical validation plus real-world evidence. You need those robust RCTs for your primary endpoints? Definitely. But you also need to plan for pragmatic RW studies to demonstrate real-world durability and effectiveness outside of those controlled environments, in diverse patient populations.
Got it. Clinical proof and real-world proof.
Exactly. The second pillar is regulatory readiness. This means mapping out your SAMD pathways early, whether it's going to be a 510K, a de novo submission, or CE marking in Europe, and meticulously preparing for software lifecycle controls under standards like IEC 60304, plus establishing quality systems per ISO 13485.
The regulatory hurdles we talked about.
Right, these are distinct regulatory pathways, essentially different doors manufacturers have to pass through to get their DTX approved, signaling varying levels of novelty and risk. Without navigating these properly, these solutions just won't make it to patients.
Makes sense. And the third pillar?
And the third, equally vital pillar, is health system interoperability. DTX solutions must seamlessly integrate with electronic health records, EHRs, and existing clinician workflows.
So they fit in, not add more work.
Precisely. This includes delivering secure clinician dashboards that provide actionable, real-time patient data. That's essential for effective population health management and for making those proactive care decisions we discussed. It's about fitting into the existing fabric of care, not creating yet another separate silo.
So it's not just about the technology itself, but how it fits into the entire ecosystem of care? The clinical proof, the regulations, the practical integration.
That sums it up well.
Okay, so that leads us to the larger implications then.
Yeah.
What's the economic and social impact of all this? How does it really change things for everyone involved, from patients to payers to the system itself?
Well, the economic and social impact is potentially profound and multifaceted. For healthcare systems, DTX can lead to significant cost reductions. Think about lowering hospital readmissions, reducing those acute exacerbations, and freeing up valuable clinical resources.
Saving money and time.
Exactly. This isn't just theory. It translates into more efficient and sustainable healthcare delivery by shifting care from being mostly reactive to being much more proactive.
And for patients?
For patients, the benefits are even more direct and, frankly, deeply personal. We're talking increased autonomy over their health management, often a significant reduction in disease-related anxiety because they have continuous support, and crucially, that round-the-clock access to therapeutic interventions.
Empowerment, really.
Yes, it empowers them to manage their conditions on their own terms, but with constant clinical backing, fostering a real sense of control over their health journey.
What about places with fewer resources?
That's another huge potential benefit. In resource-limited settings, DTX offers a revolutionary way to bridge critical care gaps. It can reach populations that are often underserved by traditional healthcare infrastructure, maybe due to geographical or economic
Just
barriers.
like remote areas.
Exactly. Imagine providing evidence-based diabetes management or mental health support via just a smartphone in regions where clinics are few and far between. So it's not merely a supplement to traditional care. Digital therapeutics truly represent a fundamental re-engineering of chronic disease management for the 21st century.
That's incredibly insightful. Digital therapeutics really do represent this powerful merger of clinical science and cutting-edge digital technology. They fundamentally enable you, the patient, to take charge of your health, all while ensuring that these interventions remain grounded in robust, irrefutable evidence.
That evidence base is key.
And for healthcare systems globally, facing that dual challenge of rising chronic disease prevalence and, let's be honest, increasing resource constraints, DTX offers a scalable, patient-centered, and remarkably cost-effective pathway forward.
A potential solution to some very big problems.
It feels like it's not just a trend, it's really a glimpse into the future of healthcare happening right now, reshaping how we approach chronic conditions. So, as we wrap up, what stands out to you most about this idea of your smartphone or maybe your wearable becoming a prescribed medical intervention? How might this change your future interactions with healthcare, and what new possibilities does it unlock for chronic condition management, not just here, but globally? We'll leave you with that thought to ponder as you go about your day.